continuing with our 30 days of VSO. I'm actually taking a break from that whipping wind out there. Hopefully it's not too bad here behind this building. But I wanted to do a informational video, I guess, about 300 Blackout. And this is actually sort of in response to something that we did on the live show on Fridays, as well as a response video to a video that Jaeger made. And it was basically talking about how 300 Blackout in its subsonic form is basically a 45 ACP bullet. So this is a 230 grain 45 ACP round, and this is a 220 grain 300 Blackout. If you guys will remember back to physics class, the important thing when we talk about generating energy, kinetic energy, is the velocity. So if you look at the equation for kinetic energy, 1/2 mv squared gives you the kinetic energy of the round. So the weight, while they are very similar, the velocity is what is really important. So if these are both doing about 900 feet per second, they're effectively the same round, except one thing. 45 ACP does not suppress as well as 300 Blackout, because if you're talking about the same diameter can, you're talking about a less internal volume that is being used for suppression because you have a bigger bored hole through the center. So you have less effective volume in the silencer. Now, when we talk about 300 Blackout versus 45 in terms of external ballistics, we can see when we compare the BC, which is basically the mathematical compilation of a whole bunch of factors that tell us how the bullet slices through the air, the 300 Blackout round is far superior with a much higher BC than that of the 45 ACP round. Take me to your leader. So when we get outside of the subsonic loadings of both of these cartridges, we see this one top out in the mid thousands, and we see this one top out in the mid 2000s. So if you're talking about a 120 grain bullet out of a 300 Blackout round that's coming out of a rifle, you're looking at roughly 2400 feet per second, something like that. Out of a 300 Blackout cartridge, you're talking like 1700 out of a 45 ACP round, the really super light stuff that is again in the 100 grain area-ish. So what you're really talking about 300 Blackout is a versatile round that is able to, with a magazine change, go from 7.62 by 39 and a really excellently flying 45 ACP round. And that is the true value of 300 Blackout, and I highly suggest that every American has a rifle in 300 Blackout. Maybe not so much in the 45 ACP, but it still does okay. I know there's a lot of old school guys that want to be able to have their guns that are pistols chambered in the same stuff as their rifles. But if you want to do that, in my opinion, especially if you're suppressing it, you should be talking about 300 Blackout. Hope that you guys learned something here today. If you did, make sure that you smash that subscribe button down below. Also, turn those notifications on so that you guys can hear when I have a good idea or a silly idea in the near future.